Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Sammy J Reacts. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking football. I'm going to be telling you guys why I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, I post videos every single day. I make a lot of content. I really just talk about what I love to watch: movies, comics, video games, whatever it may be. One of my biggest passions is 49ers football, baby. Football in general. I post reactions to the 49er games every week, so if you like that content, make sure you drop a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button. It'll really help me out, really help the algorithm push this out so I can continue making more content. And if you're a part of the Niner gang, Niner faithful, what's good, y'all? I'm happy to have you here. All right, so before I get into why I think the 49ers are gonna win the Super Bowl this year, I gotta talk about, some of the issues and what could hold them back, as well as some of the obstacles that they face. Now, I know a lot of people, especially after this last week playing the Raiders, a backup quarterback, a team that really is not in playoff contention, they put up 500 yards on the 49ers defense. And it didn't look good, right? There's a lot of explosive plays. They were scoring just way too easy. And we saw this before earlier in the season, mainly against the Kansas City Chiefs, where they were hitting the Niners with explosives like crazy. It was insane. But going back and watching the film, it's all correctable mistakes. It's the same thing as that Kansas City game. It's the communication. Like, everyone just needs to be on the same page. Stop trying to make plays, overrunning plays. Just do your job. That's the issue, right? So the defense really doesn't concern me, especially since we have D'Amico Ryans back there. But it is important to note that the weakness of the defense has to be the secondary, right? I mean, the defensive line, I would say, the front seven is definitely the strength. The Niners have arguably the defense player of the year, Nick Bosa, but there are other studs on that D-line. Like, it's crazy. They go about 10, 11 deep. Arik Armstead, one of the most underappreciated interior defensive linemen in the league, stud. Samson Ebukam has been a freaking steal of a free agent signing ever since the Niners picked him up a couple years ago. Javon Kinlaw's trying to get his legs under him after having multiple knee injuries, but it's all the other guys like Kevin Givens, Ty McGill, the rookie Drake Jackson, Kerry Hyder, Jordan Willis. Like, this D-line is deep. And obviously they have, I think, the best trio of linebackers in the league in Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Azeez Al-Shaair. Like, I don't think there's a linebacker core out there that goes three deep like that. First of all, Fred Warner's the best coverage linebacker in the league. Dre Greenlaw, I need to just explain how much I love this kid, because he's insanely great. Like, he plays linebacker. Nowadays, people play the new age linebacker, which is really just like a hybrid safety. You don't really block and shed. You kind of try to get past the guards and tackle. Most of the time, these linebackers are getting dragged. Dre Greenlaw, he's stacking and shedding, and when he hits you, you're stopping in your tracks. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that Dre Greenlaw is a stud. He should have been on the Pro Bowl this year, and it's a damn shame that he wasn't. And then Azeez Al-Shaair's been hurt this year, so he's been great too. Last year he was great when he had an extended period of time where he was starting for Dre Greenlaw. This year he's kind of been up and down just because he has to rotate. He's not going to be getting on the field over Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw when they go into nickel packages. So now I do see a lot of people saying the weakness in the secondary is the secondary. That's I kind of struggle and hesitate to say that. But, I mean, once you've gone down as many corners that we have gone down, Jason Verrett had a season-ending injury, none worse than Emmanuel Mosley tearing his ACL. He was having a freaking insane year. But Mooney Ward is great. After that, it's not looking too good, because after Mooney Ward, it's really kind of just, yeah. Diamador Lenore, bless his heart. I love his fight. I love his spirit. But God did not bless him with the body of an Adonis. He's about 5'9", and you saw it. He gave up a lot of plays last week. It was just a really rough day for him. Other than the opening drive touchdown, which I know a lot of people thought that was on Hufanga, but they were actually in man coverage. And Lenore got his eyes in the backfield and tried to make a play. His man was Waller, not Hufanga. Hufanga just tried to make up for the play, honestly. But a lot of the catches he gave up, if you go back and look at it, is contested. Like, he's there, but he's just too little. Like, there's just nothing he can really do about it. And most of the catches on him were against Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Foster Moreau, the backup tight end, but he's like 6'7", so, good luck. 5'9" against 6'7". You're getting lost. So, yeah. And then behind those two guys, it's really kind of just, they're all little. Like, none of them are really great. Ambry Thomas is just not a good coverage cornerback. I think we learned that the hard way. I do like Samuel Womack, but he is a nickel. They cannot be playing him on the outside. But he's not going to be playing over Jimmy Ward right now, who is the nickel. To me, that's the strength of the secondary, is the fact that they have four really good safeties. Tavarius Moore is a good safety. He's not better than the three guys ahead of him. Tashawn Gibson, wow, he's been playing phenomenal as our free safety. Obviously, you guys know Hufanga's bringing the tees up every time. He's a ferocious hitter. He's fearless, but he's more of a box safety. And then Jimmy Ward has been primarily our nickel. But yeah, honestly, I've been kind of going on a rant here about how the defense played bad, but you'll see. Like, sometimes they'll give up plays like they did against Miami, the 75-yard touchdown on the opening drive. But guess what they do? They make adjustments. They have DeMeco Ryans. They have a good coach. He understands his players. He knows what their strengths are. He's going to put them in positions to be successful. So I honestly don't have many worries about the defense. We're good there. As long as everyone stays healthy, we're good. DeMeco Ryans is going to be a head coach next year, so you know you have a great coach. And as long as you have a great leader, you're going to have men who want to be led by that leader. Now, I see a big reason people are saying the Niners are not going to win the Super Bowl, and I see it a lot. It's that Brock Purdy. People believe in Brock Purdy too much. Why does everyone think he's so special, this and that? He's a 7th-round pick. He's a rookie. He's the last pick in the draft. I mean, yeah, I understand their hesitancy, but when you actually watch him play, I don't think this is a weakness. I think the Niners found themselves an upgrade in Brock Purdy, and it's crazy to say because he was the last pick in the draft, pick 262, I think. Insanity. Like, we've never seen this before. Brady was probably the last quarterback playing this well that late, and that's not to compare him to Brady at all, just similar scenario. I'm not saying their physical traits are the same or anything like that, but you can see it. This kid has done it for 4 or 5 straight weeks. It's insane. Like, it's not even just the fact that he's adding a dimension to your offense. Kyle Shanahan's offense. He's more mobile. He's not just a stiff statue in the pocket, which is something that we were hoping to get with Trey Lance before he went down with an injury. And obviously that offense was a much more run-heavy approach, running the quarterback as well. But the thing with Brock Purdy is he's more mobile. You've seen it already. He's escaped throwing the ball away, which is great. Like, Jimmy just probably would take those sacks, to be honest with you. But having that mobility is great. Like, they're going to be able to pull some read option stuff eventually in the playoffs when they really need to. Right now, I just don't think Kyle wants to run them too much because, you know, you're one injury away from having Josh Johnson be your starting quarterback, and then your hopes are kind of gone. But to me, it's the decision-making, the accuracy of his throws, and his willingness, I wouldn't even say willingness, aggressiveness throwing the ball down the field. Like, I've never seen a 49ers quarterback with Kyle Shanahan take more shots down the field than Brock Purdy. Now think about that. And I'm talking about just the small sample size. Like, Brock Purdy's been playing, he played 5 games. And I think I legitimately have seen him take more deep shots down the field in these past 5 games than I've seen whoever the starting quarterback is for the 49ers the past 3 years. And that's not even a joke. But there's just something to this offense now where it seems like everything is clicking. The run game is clicking. Kyle Shanahan, obviously, you know what you're going to get with Kyle Shanahan. He's going to dial it up. He knows what plays are going to work. He knows how to beat these coverages. All he needed was a quarterback that he trusted, and you see that. I think this offense has been unleashed. It's actually crazy because it's Brock Purdy, right? Like, you still having trouble believing it, but you better believe it, baby. That's Glock Purdy now. Pew pew, the little guns. But the biggest thing is he has a head coach who trusts him. He has an offense that has studs everywhere. We're talking about George Kittle, the best to me. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but George Kittle is the best tight end in the league. And we're seeing that week in and week out with a quarterback that actually gets him the ball. He's the most explosive tight end. He's the best run blocking tight end. Shit, he's probably the best. He could play left tackle, honestly. I've seen him stand up Clay Matthews before. So you're good there. You got a stud tight end. You have arguably one of the best running backs in the NFL in Christian McCaffrey, who's one of the best receiving threats out of the backfield as well. Just, there goes Kyle again. He wants to play this positionless football. He has a bunch of players that can do it all. Brandon Ayuk is a #1 wide receiver. He's been a #1 wide receiver. I have been saying for the past 3 years, he's our best pure route running wide receiver. Yes, I know we have Deebo Samuel on our team. Brandon Ayuk is a better wide receiver overall. And he's showing that week in and week out. He's being a guy that Brock Purdy can trust. And his route running is just filthy. He's taking ankles. He's been snatching ankles for a couple weeks now. And then, yeah, we're doing this without Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell too. Don't forget that. I mean, do I really need to go into what makes Deebo Samuel special? Y'all already know who Deebo Samuel is. That's why he got all that money. Elijah Mitchell. And even the backup running backs are great. Jordan Mason scored his first touchdown last week against the Raiders. Looked phenomenal. And Ty Davis Price even looked good for the few reps that he got. So they got weapons everywhere. Jawan Jennings. How do I not even... Ray McLeod. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of crazy. Ray McLeod's another one of those guys you can have him do what Deebo does. Everywhere. He can do anything. Put him on reverses. Jawan Jennings, the third down machine. Third and Jawan. And someone I really want to point out that no one else has pointed out is Tyler Kroft is blocking his ass off, the backup tight end. And obviously Juszczyk. I mean, come on. That goes without saying. Now, a weakness going into this season I thought was going to be the interior offensive line. But they're glued right now. Like, they are playing great together. And even last week with Aaron Banks going down, looks like he's going to miss the last game. But he'll probably come back. But even when he went out, Daniel Brunskill slid back into left guard, and he's played great. I mean, you got Trent Williams, the best left tackle in the league. Freaking Mike McGlinchey, bro. As much as, and Niner fans, you guys know, we hate Mike McGlinchey. Or not hate him, but just don't like the way he plays. He locked up Max Crosby, who a lot of Raider fans think is better than Bosa. Yes, they think that seriously. And he got his ass locked up. And Kittle actually dominated Max Crosby in the run game too. He was pushing his ass back 5-6 yards every single time in the run game. It was crazy. 1-on-1. But it was the interior. Going into the season, didn't think those three were going to be great. Aaron Banks is a Pro Bowl left guard. Jake Brendell's been doing his damn job. And Spencer Burford has played great for a rookie. It's crazy. I know they were kind of rotating him and Daniel Brunskill out. So to me, now what does it really come down to now? We know what this team is. Now let me tell you why I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Obviously, I just mentioned why their team is great. I went into depth. This is the main reason I think the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. They've been there before. Their coaching staff has been there before. They understand this. Most of their players have been there before. They're battle tested. A lot of these teams in the NFC have not been there before. And the Minnesota Vikings are just straight up frauds. They have Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. You know he's going to choke in the playoffs. Their defense is terrible. Terrible. So that's not a concern. You can damn near say the same thing about the Cowboys. We already know they're an accident waiting to happen. As good as their defensive line is, that's pretty much it. They got Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. Obviously, Diggs does what he does. But outside of those three, not concerned with that defense. Dak Prescott, he's going to make a mistake. We already know we already know what it is. Like, no one's worried about the Cowboys. Now, obviously, the biggest threat to the 49ers, I think, is Philadelphia. They have Jalen Hurts. He can run. We know the Niners have struggled with running quarterbacks before. And overall, their team is just really good. But I would have more confidence in the 49ers if they were to match up head-to-head. Just because they've been there before. They've done that. They understand it. They have the best coaches going into these playoffs, in my opinion. Philly's too young. I just need to see them do it before I believe it. You know what I mean? And then once they get to the damn Super Bowl, it don't matter who they play. Buffalo, Cincinnati, Kansas City, all three of those can get it. It don't matter. They don't look that great right now, especially Kansas City. They've been struggling to beat middle of the road teams. Their defense is not good. Now, obviously, we have the fear factor in Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. Like, those are that's all you're worried about when you're playing the Chiefs. So you find a way to slow them down. The Niners will dominate that game. Same with Buffalo. Buffalo does not look good at all right now. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but the Niners are going to be Super Bowl champions with the last pick in the draft. Bang, bang, Niner gang. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. Really helps the algorithm out. And if you like these videos, maybe I'll start doing these daily because I love talking 49er football. But yeah, man, that's going to do it for me. Peace.